Hi, good to see you. Hi, everybody. Good morning. We'll go ahead and get started today. I'm Sacha with I Do Yoga. Thanks for coming out today. And let's get started today lying on our backs. What a great way to start Sunday, just lying around on our backs. So let's bring our legs so that they're bent. And then let's TP those legs in so they knock in toward one another. And just get nice and comfortable. And then let's place one hand on your belly and the other hand on your heart. And then let's just start to bring our intention to our breath. So we're starting a new day. What a great time to start with intention. So just slowly make those breaths even and steady. And then know today at any time, if your mind is wandering during practice, you can always bring it back to this nice steady breath. And now to open, we're going to start with a little breathing exercise called heart-activated breathing. And it's very simple to do. You just will take slow, steady breaths in and out through your nose. And you're going to imagine that you're breathing in through your heart as if your heart could actually breathe every time you breathe in. And then on the exhale, you're going to imagine that you're exhaling through your heart space as well. So we'll do a nice 4-count breath. Let's take a cleansing breath, nice deep inhale, full inhale through your nose. And then exhale, let it all go through your mouth. Now for 4 counts, let's inhale for 4, 3, 2, 1, pause. And exhale through your nose for 4, 3, 2, 1, and pause. Inhaling into your heart for 4, 3, 2, 1, and pause. Exhaling for 4, 3, 2, 1, pause. Inhale for 4, 3, 2, 1, pause. Exhaling for 4, 3, 2, 1, pause. Again, inhale 4, 3, 2, 1, hold. Nice and steady exhale 4, 3, 2, 1, and pause. Again, in through your heart for 4, 3, 2, 1, and hold. Exhale out through your heart for 4, 3, 2, 1, pause. A few more rounds like this. Inhaling 4, 3, 2, 1, and hold. Exhale 4, 3, 2, 1, and pause. Last round, inhaling to your heart for 4, 3, 2, 1, and hold. Exhaling for 4, 3, 2, 1, and pause. And now just take a deep inhale through your nose. Open your mouth and exhale to let it go. And just sit with yourself for a few moments before we start to move into our flow today. Maybe notice any sensations in your body. Just give them a little acknowledgement and then let them go. Know that today during our flow, if at any time it becomes too much for you, you can always come back to child's pose or just any position that's comfortable on your mat to take a rest. Just have the wisdom to know when to stop, when to take that break. So beginning our movement, let's bring our knees into the chest and just squeeze those knees in. And then rock your knees around in a circle one way. Just starting to wake up that spine. And then reverse that motion, going the opposite direction. And makes me grasp your tears. And then pausing here, let's bring our legs up to the sky. And then bring your hands down by your side. We're actually going to get started this morning just with some gentle ab work, nothing too crazy. But let's lower our legs down to the floor to whatever degree is comfortable for you, and then raise them back up to center. So inhale, drop it down. Exhale, bring it up. So just go at your own pace here. Inhaling and exhaling. Today we're waking up our abs before waking up anything else. And then when you get to the done with your next rep, let's leave those legs up, facing toward the sky. Our hands behind our head. And then let's just take some torso curls up and down at your own pace. Inhale and exhale at a pattern that's good for you, just so that you're not hyperventilating. Take a few more reps here. And then just pause at the bottom, dropping our legs back down to the mat. This time we roll over to your left side and then push your way up. And let's come into a seated position, nice easy pose here. So just cross-legged position, hands on your knees. And let's start to make torso rolls. So leaning forward and then exhaling as you come back. And then inhale on the forward motion, just making nice big circles with those shoulders. Feeling free to close your eyes if that feels comfortable. Trying to match that breath with the movement. And then once you come to the front, let's just reverse that motion, go the opposite direction. We're just going to wake up our spine in those 6 ranges of motion that we have. And anytime during yoga that you have the opportunity to close your eyes, as long as that feels good, then go ahead and do that. And then next time you come and make one last big circle around to the front, then just come back up to that nice, tall, seated spine. Take your right fingertips out to the right side. Inhale that left hand above. And then just start to creep those right fingertips over, extending long through the left side of your body. And breathing into that tension and that tightness you might feel in the left side of your abs. And then inhale to come back through center. Left fingertips to the left side. Inhale your right hand above to the sky. And then exhale, right hand extends long over to the left. Then inhale to come back up. And then let's go ahead and come to hands and knees. So just bring those knees under your hips, hands under your shoulders. We're just going to go into the quintessential cat and cow pose of yoga. So for the cat, we're going to arch our spine, and we're going to exhale all the air out. And then on the inhale, we'll come into that cow where our belly dips down, chin goes into the sky, and inhale. So exhale, let all the air out, arch that spine. Inhale, spine will curve down to the ground, chin up. Exhale, let all the air out. Inhale. So at your own pace, just move through some cat and cows. Knowing that we're not in a race this morning to get anywhere. Or maybe we are, but you know what? For the next hour, we're not. And then make your way through one more inhale and one more exhale. And then come back to that steady tabletop position, taking our right leg now behind us toward the back of your mat. Long and strong right leg. Hands are still under your shoulder, so we don't have any shoulder problems here. Let's inhale our left hand up to the sky. Your left knee is still on the ground. And then exhale, take that left hand and thread it under your right, and let your left shoulder fall onto the ground. So you're still on that left knee, your right leg is extended long, your left shoulder is on the ground, and if you can, lie your head down onto the ground, and just feel that nice shoulder stretch in your left shoulder. If you want to go deeper into this stretch, you can always bring that right hand up to the sky and wrap it around your left waist, grabbing somewhere along the left side of your body. Just opening that right shoulder up toward the sky, making sure you're rolling it open. And then slowly begin to unravel that right arm. If it's wrapped around, place your right hand to the ground and push yourself up to come back into that tabletop position, releasing your right leg down. Now we'll get that on the other side, so your left leg will go back straight to the back of your mat. This time our right hand will come up, sweep up to the sky, right knee is on the ground. Your right hand will sweep under your left, right shoulder to the ground, and then placing your head to the ground as well, if you can do that. Just pausing here a few moments before we go into that wrap on the other side. Now if you'd like, you can go ahead and take that left arm up to the sky, finding the wrap on the other side. Take one more inhale here, make sure you're rolling that left shoulder open. And then exhale, bring that left arm, unravel it down to the ground, coming back up to tabletop. And from here, let's just lie onto our belly. We're done. We're all done. We can just rest here all day. Just kidding. We got some more things in store. So from here, let's bring our hands to our chest. And we're going to squeeze those shoulders so they're in toward your rib cage. And we're going to inhale to come up. And you can make it a very tiny, tiny movement. I tend to just jump right on in. So this is called Cobra. So welcome to your first Cobra. Make sure you're squeezing those elbows back toward your ribs. Hands by your chest. Legs extended long. Inhaling here, and then let's exhale it back down. So now that we have the hang of that, let's go ahead and turn that into a flow. On an inhale, we come up, and then exhale, bring it back down to the mat. Again, inhale to come up, squeezing those shoulders in, rolling those shoulders open, exhaling down. Inhale, roll those shoulders, squeeze those elbows in, exhale down. Let's do one more of those. Inhale to come up, and then let's pause. Here, hold and squeeze in, rolling those shoulders, finding good alignment. And then exhale, come back down to the mat. And let's push ourselves up. You can come onto your knees if you want, or you can come up push-up style, whatever you're feeling like. Just push yourself up. You might not feel like doing any of that. Come into downward facing dog. So your feet will be at the back of the mat. They don't have to be touching the ground. Your knees can be bent if you just want to ease into this today. And those arms will have those fingertips spread wide. And you'll be pushing into the palms and the fingertips out of the ground so that your shoulders aren't sagging down. So welcome to your first downward facing dog of the class. Take a minute here to feel any sensations, because the first downward facing dog will always feel so much different than the last one we do. So just take note of that right now. Take a deep inhale through your nose, and then exhale. One more inhale here, and on the exhale, let's walk our feet to the top of your mat. And then once you get here, staying down low, drop your head down, and just let your head dangle. Let's inhale to come halfway up, so hands to shins or to floor, coming halfway up, making a nice long extension from your head to your tailbone. And then exhale to forward fold, and let that head drop. Let's do that one more time where we inhale to come halfway up, and exhale to forward fold. On the next inhale, let's sweep our arms all the way to the sky. Inhale long and tall. Exhale, hands through center. And then let them rest by your side to come to mountain pose. Let's inhale, hands high to the sky. And exhale to fall forward over those legs. And on an inhale, come halfway up from that flat back. Exhale, hands to the ground. And let's do that again. Let's inhale to come halfway up. And exhale, head drops to the ground. Inhale, halfway, come up. Exhale, drop that head to the ground. One more flat back. Inhale, halfway up. Exhale, let your head drop. This time, make those feet so that they're about hip width apart. Let's bend our right knee. Let's grab our left ankle with our right hand. So right knee bent. Right hand grabs behind the left ankle or anywhere along your left leg. And let's inhale our left fingertips high to the sky, twisting to the left side of the space. So right knee stays bent, left leg is long. Rolling that left shoulder open. Left hand high to the sky. One more inhale to find some openness here. Exhale, left fingertips to the ground. And then let's drop that head down and let's come halfway up again. So inhale to come halfway up. Exhale, let your head fall down to the ground. And this time we bend our left knee. Grab your right ankle with your left hand, and then open up to the right side of the space. Right hand sweeps high to the sky. Opening that right shoulder if you can so it's shining toward the sky. One more inhale here. Find some openness in that right shoulder. Exhale, releasing right hand down to the ground. Coming halfway up one more time, inhale here. And exhale to forward folds. This time, hands to the ground. And let's just walk ourselves back to downward facing dog. And then from here, we're going to inhale to take our right toes off the mat. So your leg is going to come parallel to the ground. It doesn't have to go to crazy heights. So here, if you want. Inhale up here. And then on an exhale, sweep that right foot to the front of the mat, facing it to the front. So your left toes are at the back, right toes at the front. And then let's drop our left knee down to the ground. And then let's inhale to come up into a low lunge. Hands sweep high to the sky. Try to tilt that pelvis so that you're having good alignment in the spine, so tilting it forward. So reaching those fingertips high to the sky. Let's exhale and turn to the right. So arms will spread open and twist to the right. And then just extend those arms as long as you can out. A little balance, a little detox. All right, now let's inhale to come back to center. And then exhale, hands to the ground. And then from here, let's extend our right leg so that it's nice and long, and then take your booty toward the back of your mat. So just finding your version of half splits. Remembering to breathe into any areas of tightness you feel, which are probably somewhere along this right leg right here. And remembering to honor where you are today. Everybody's body looks different. Everybody's pose will look different. You all have different flexibility. So it's not necessarily a goal to get your head to your shin. If that's where you are, that's great. But if you're not there, that's okay too. And on an inhale, let's flatten that right foot down to the ground, so coming back towards center. And then inhale with your fingertips on the ground, head looks up. Let's exhale, bending back, going back to that half splits again, so curving back in. And on the inhale, let's come back forward to that low lunge, chest open, head looks up. We'll just turn this into a little flow. Exhale, coming and bowing over that right leg. Inhale, right foot flat. Open it up. Exhale, fold it in. Two more like this. Inhale to find some openness in the chest. Exhale, melt it all down. Inhale one more time. Look up, head up. Exhale, back to half splits. On an inhale, let's come back. So your right foot is flat, finding that low lunge once more. And then if you want to join me, you can bring that left foot in. And if this is enough for you, that's fine. But if you can grab back there and grab something, anything, any part of your leg, go ahead and do that. If you can't, know that you can just leave that foot down there and turn yourself to the right side as well. And if you can, just join me. I'll be throwing in lots of modifications today, but you might surprise yourself with what you can do if you just try sometimes. And then releasing that left foot back down to the ground, right fingertips to the ground. Let's go ahead and come back up, bringing that left foot off the ground, left knee off the ground, hands to the floor. Take your right foot back, and let's come into that downward facing dog once more, which now is feeling like kind of a resting pose. Take a few breaths here, in and out through your nose. On an inhale, let's lift those left toes high to the sky. or as high as you want it to go. And then on an exhale, bring those toes to the front of your mat, left toes to the front, right toes to the back. This time dropping our right knee down to the ground. Coming into that low lunge with left in front. Inhale those arms up to the sky. Nice, long and tall. And then inhale for some extension, reach high to the sky. And on the exhale, open to the left side of the space. So arms spread wide, extending those arms out. Torso staying straight up and down. Now inhale, bring your arms high to the sky. Exhale, hands to the ground, and we'll come into half splits on the other side. So exhale, extend that left leg nice and long, bending your right knee, and sitting down into that right hip. Remember, if that mind is wandering, you can always bring it back to the cadence of your breathing. It's totally normal for your mind to wander because our mind is meant to think. So just be kind and compassionate with yourself when it does, and instead of cussing yourself out, maybe just acknowledge it and then come back to the breath. Let's turn this into a flow. So inhale, left toes flat, chest will open up, head will look up. Exhale, rebend your right leg, extend your left leg long. Inhale to come up, opening that chest. Exhale, letting everything fall in. Inhale, opening up. Exhale, coming back to center. Inhale, flatten that leg, open everything up one more time. Exhale, fold it all back to that half splits. And then come back to that low lunge, so left foot will go flat. And then if you want to join that quad stretch, feel free to bend your right leg in, grab whatever you can. It's always helpful to have a strap here, but we're just going to make do with what we have. One more inhale here if you're in this stretch, and then exhale to release that right foot down to the ground. Both hands to the ground. Let's step our left foot back into a downward facing dog. So both feet at the back of the mat, hands to the front. Remembering to push up and out of those hands. Take an inhale here. Exhale, let it go through your mouth. Now here, let's lift our right foot to the sky. And this time you can kind of open your hip out to the side of the space. We're going to start bending our right knee so that our hip is opening to the right side of the space. On an inhale, bring that leg back down to the ground. And then exhale there. Inhale to lift your right leg halfway up so it's parallel to the ground. And this time, exhale to bring your right foot to the front of the mat. Keeping on your your left toes, we're going to go ahead and rise up into a crescent pose. So what we just did, but now we're off the ground. So extending long out of that left leg. If you need to have a bend, feel free. Just make sure that that torso is nice and tall and the pelvis is tilted under. So keeping true to my form, I have to do a little bit of a challenge here. So if you want to join me, that's fine. If you don't, just stay where you are and it's good enough of a hold. So if you want to come and tap that left knee down to the ground, open those arms out to the side, and then exhale to come back up. We'll do that 3 more times. Inhale, come down. Exhale to come up. On the inhale, keeping that knee above your right ankle. Exhale up. Let's do one more if you want to. Inhale to come down. Exhale to come up. Inhale here. Exhale, hands to the ground. Step back to what we call plank. So you're in that push-up position. Arms above your shoulders. And then bring your torso over those hands, leaning forward. Start to lower yourself down to the ground. Slow and with control. Once you get here, release the tops of your feet. Let's come up to that cobra pose. So squeeze those elbows in, hands by chest. Inhale here. And exhale down. Let's do another one of those. Inhale to come up. And exhale down. This time, push yourself up to plank or modify by coming to tabletop first. And then coming to downward facing dog once more. From here, let's inhale the left toes high to the sky. This time we can open our hip over to the left side of the space, bending the left knee, finding openness in that left hip. And then on an inhale, start to release that leg down to the ground. And exhale there. Inhale, take that left foot halfway off the ground, this time sweeping it to the front of the mat on the exhale. Inhale to rise to crescent with your left foot in front. Right leg is behind. It can be bent if needed. So with your hips facing forward, if you want to join me, we'll go into those taps on the other side. I just can't help but do this. I don't know why. So let's take that knee down to the ground and then coming back up. So inhale, lower with control down. Exhale, coming back up. Remembering you can stay inhaling down, in crescent if it feels good. Let's do one more of those. Down, finding some strength. And then pausing there. Exhale, hands down to the ground. And then stepping back into that plank position or push-up position, leaning forward and lowering yourself down into chaturanga. Inhaling to come up to cobra. And exhale, downward facing dogs. However you want to get there, push up or through kneeling. Take an inhale here and exhale. Now let's just take a moment to feel how different this feels from the first time we did it this morning. You should be a little bit more open, definitely a little bit more heated. On an inhale, let's take our right foot up to the sky. And then on an exhale, bring it forward to the front of your mat. But this time, we're going to come into what we call swan pose. Or, well, pigeon pose, resting pigeon pose. Many things it's called. So you're going to have your right leg toward the front of your mat and flat. Left leg is long, extended long. Fingertips to the ground, inhaling for a nice tall spine. And then exhale to fall over that right leg. Making sure that that right knee is comfortable and there's no pain before you start to come forward. We call this pose pigeon pose or sleeping swan in yin yoga. And it's so good for opening those hips. Maybe take a few moments to close your eyes here. Now take one more inhale here, and then on an exhale, start to walk yourself in, placing your hands flat to the ground. We're going to Tuck those left toes under, and we're going to pull that right leg back into downward facing dog. From here, let's inhale our left toes high to the sky, and then bring that left foot to the front of the mat and release your shin down to the ground. Right leg is long, spine is tall on the inhale, and then exhale to fall over your knee on the left knee. Remembering that getting to the ground is not necessarily a goal. If you need to stay up in these poses, that might be enough for your hip, and that's totally okay. Take one more inhale here, and then let's exhale to bring those fingertips to the ground. Start walking yourself back in. Hands flat on the ground. Let's tuck those right toes, and let's pull that left leg back up to the sky, and then releasing those feet down to downward facing dog. From here, let's inhale onto your toes, and let's release those feet over to the right side of the space, so feet will go to the right and flatten. So you'll feel a nice stretch in the left side of your body. So those fingertips are still spread wide, you're still pushing out of the ground. We're just twisting our torso to the right. Then inhale to come back through center, and then exhale to the other side, so your feet will go to the left. Inhale back towards center. And then taking one more inhale here, let's exhale and step to the front of your mat or walk. Once you get here, head will dangle down toward the ground. Inhale to come halfway up. Exhale, forward fold. This time, open your feet so they're hip width. Grab the opposite elbows with your hands and just let your head dangle and fall in between those arms. You can have a bend in your knees if that feels good too, to kind of release some of the tension in your legs. Remembering your breath, and if it feels good, you can kind of sway or make any bouncing motions, anything that kind of feels intuitively spot on for you this morning. Just go ahead and take those movements. Feeling free to close those eyes. And then coming back to center, let's release those hands down to the ground. Let's inhale to come halfway up. Exhale, head drops to the ground. And on an inhale, rise all the way to standing. And then hands down through heart center. From here, let's inhale, sweep those hands up to the sky. And exhale, open up to the right side of the space, twisting to the right. Inhale, hands up to the sky. And exhale, opening to the left. Inhale, hands high to the sky. This time falling forward over those legs down into a forward fold. Inhale to come halfway up. Exhale, forward fold. This time we step back into plank. And then coming down for chaturanga, feel free to kneel if you want to do that. Always modify as necessary. Inhale for cobra. Exhale down. Push yourself back up into a downward facing dog. And then inhale here. And then exhale, step to the front of the mat or walk to the front of the mat. Inhale to come halfway up. Exhale, folding forward. Now inhale, sweep your hands high to the sky, coming all the way up, hands through heart center. We'll turn that into a little flow here. Let's inhale, hands will sweep up to the sky. Exhale, open to the right, twisting to the right. Inhale, hands high to the sky. Exhale, twisting to the left. Inhale, hands up to the sky. And exhale, falling forward over those legs. Inhale for our flat back, halfway up. Exhale, hands to the ground, coming through a push-up and chaturanga. This we call vinyasa. Inhale for cobra. And exhale to downward facing dog. Inhaling here. Exhaling to step to the front of your mat. Inhaling to come halfway up. Exhale, folding it forward. And inhale, sweep those hands high to the sky, coming all the way up. Exhale, hands to heart center. Let's do that again. Inhale, hands up to the sky. Exhale, opening to the right. Almost forgot that little tidbit. Inhale, hands to the center. Exhale, opening to the left. Inhale, hands up. And exhale, falling forward. Proof that even yoga instructors forget. Inhale, halfway up, because our mind loses track. Exhale, forward fold. And then on the next inhale, let's step back to plank. Lowering down, coming up into cobra. And then finding your downward facing dog. Inhaling here. Exhaling through your mouth. And from here, let's open our feet so that they're a little bit wider than our yoga mat, so that your toes are pointing out a 45-degree angle at the back of your mat. And we're just going to walk our hands back to meet our feet. So your toes are pointing at 45 degrees, a little bit off your mat, and just sit down into the yoga squat. And then opening those knees, bringing those hands to your heart. Just taking a few minutes here. Your chin is slightly bowing down. And if you practice this at home, it's always helpful to have a block if you want to place a block under your bottom. And if you want to join me in a little shoulder stretch here, we can drop our left fingertips to the ground and our right hand can come up to the sky. And if you want to stay here, this is totally fine. This would be like level 1. And if you want to go further, you can take that right hand behind your back. That could be like a level 2. And if you want to go even further, you can take that left arm, wrap it around the front part of your left knee, and see what you can grab back there. Maybe the other hand is available. And if it's not, that's okay too. We still got 2 other levels you can go back to as well. Maybe it gives you something to work toward. Rolling that right shoulder open to the sky. And if you're in that bind, go ahead and release the left hand down to the ground. And then releasing the right hand down to the ground, coming back to that Halasana yoga squat. We'll do that on the other side, but feel free first to kind of sway those hips if you want to. Sometimes we go into like under our tippy toes, but we're not going to do that today. So dropping the right fingertips down to the ground. If you're going to join me in the stretch on the other side, right hand high to the sky, and then left hand high to the sky, and your left hand can reach around, and then your right hand can grab somewhere along that side of the body. And if you're in that wrap, let's go ahead and release that. So left arm up to the sky, left fingertips down.
From here, let's just go ahead and straighten those legs. Get out of there, thank goodness. Bring those feet in. And then we'll walk our hands back out to come into a downward facing dog. Once you're here, let's inhale, come to a plank. And then exhale, come down onto your belly. And from here, let's take our right fingertips out to the side of the space. Bend your left knee in. And then we're going to open, our left knee will open up and roll behind us. So your left toes roll behind you. So finding a nice stretch in the right shoulder. Take one more inhale here. And then exhale, start to roll out of that so that left knee will come back toward the ground. Your right fingertips can come back in. Bring your hands to your chest. And let's come halfway up into that cobra one more time here. And then exhale, come down to the ground. This time, let's take our left fingertips out to the left side, bending your right knee. And let's start to lift, peel that right leg off the ground, and then tilt it behind you so those right toes fall behind you. Feeling a nice stretch in the left shoulder. Resting that head down to the ground if you can. Take one more inhale here, and then exhale, start to slowly roll back towards center. And then once you come here, let's come into tabletop position and just walk those knees up to the front of your mat, and let's sit down on your bottom. And then from here, we're just going to go for one more little round of ab work. So bring those legs up here and have them bend. And then your torso will be nice and long, so we're not sagging in those abs. And then let's just start to act like we're rowing a boat. That's it, we're by the water. Let's pretend like we're going somewhere. So just start to row your boat right and left. This is working our obliques on the sides of our abs. So we can do a little bit of work, even though it's Sunday. I know it's a love-hate relationship with your yoga instructor. I get it. Remember, taking a break is always an option. Let's just go for 5 more seconds. 4. Eyes are burning. 3. Ate too much cookies. 2. And 1. And then let's pause though. Let's pause. Just pause in the pain. I know it's painful. Reach those arms out. Think of any part of your body that's not hurting. Like your hair. And then let's just fall down to the ground. I'm so sorry. I don't know why I have to do that to you people, but I do. So sorry. Okay, so let's just rock our knees back and forth just a few moments. Let's release those feet down to the ground. Let's bring our right leg up and cross it over your bent left knee. So your right leg is bent over, your right ankle's on your left knee. And then start to bring that left knee or left foot off the floor. So pulling that left knee in toward you. Threading those hands in between and grabbing somewhere along your leg, either your shin or behind your hamstrings of your left leg. Or if it's just enough to leave your leg there, that's okay too. Resting that leg on the ground. So whatever your level is, find that. And on an inhale, bring your torso off the ground. And kind of pull that leg in just a little bit more. And then exhale, release everything down to the ground. So torso down to the ground, not everything, just your torso. Feeling that nice stretch in the right side of your hip. We're going to hold there for just a few moments to open that right hip. Now let's release that left foot down to the ground. And then stay here, but let your right leg come across your left leg. So our right leg is on top, the left leg is under. Crossing those legs, bring those knees into the center. And just try to grab the outer edge of your foot. Then feel free to grab the outer edges of your foot. And if you can, just grab somewhere along the opposite leg. And just start to pull that in and down. Making sure that toward the back part of your back is flat on the ground. So we're just doing what we call cow lace pose, just lying down. Remembering during times of stillness like this, that if your mind is wandering once again, just bringing it back to the breath and the sensations of your body. Let's take one deep inhale in this position. And then exhale, let's release those legs, unravel them. And just extend them long for 1 second. Extend your body nice and long. Reach your arms over your head. Just give your body one long stretch from the fingertips to the toes, like someone's pulling you with a rope. And then releasing those hands down to the ground, bring those knees back in. This time, we bring our left leg up, placing it left ankle on top of the right leg. And then if you want to bring the right toes off the ground, feel free. Remembering to flex those feet on both of your feet. Threading those hands through and grabbing whatever part of your leg feels comfortable. And once you get that, let's inhale our torso off the ground. Hold those legs in a little bit more towards center. And then exhale the torso back down to the ground, keeping your legs as they are. On your next inhale, make it a nice deep inhale. And then on the exhale, release that right foot down to the ground. Keeping your left on top, let's go ahead and place the left over the right. And then let's bring those knees in toward the midline. And then grab the opposite legs wherever you can. So opening those legs to the opposite side. So you're kind of slaying them open. Feeling that stretch in the left hip. Making sure your spine is flat on the ground. Now take one more deep inhale here in this posture. And then on the exhale, slowly release those legs down to the ground and unravel your legs. And then bring both knees in towards center. Give it a little squeeze. And on an inhale, give everything a squeeze. So take your hands, just hug your body in, squeeze everything really tight. Inhale here. And then exhale, let everything release to the ground. So we're in our final position of the class, which is Shavasana. So your legs will be separated and open. Your toes will point out toward the outer edges of your mat. Palms facing the sky. Arms open up by your side. And just for the next and last final minutes of this class, see how deep you can fall into relaxation. See how weightless you can become. So enjoy these final moments of Shavasana until you hear the sounds of the bell. See how weightless you can become. See how light your body can feel. And see how steady your breath can fall into a rhythm. Slowly start to bring your awareness back to the sensations of your body, right with those fingers and toes. Moving your body slowly. See how peaceful everything is right now. So I'm going to say that this is not the end class today, so you feel free to come out of Shavasana as you're ready. Just rolling to your side.